Why your cravings aren't your fault. You're standing in front of the fridge. You just ate dinner. You're not hungry, but something is pulling you toward the leftover pizza. Something that doesn't respond to logic. You know it's there. You know you don't need it. And still, your hand is reaching for it before your brain finishes the sentence, I shouldn't. You've done this 1,000 times. You've never thought about it once. But here's the thing nobody tells you. You're not weak. You're not lacking willpower. You're not broken. You're running on a 200,000-year-old operating system that was designed for a world that no longer exists. And that operating system has one instruction for calorie-dense food. Get it now, because you might not find any tomorrow. The craving isn't the problem. The craving is the solution to a problem your ancestors faced every single day. The problem is that the solution doesn't know the problem is gone. Let's talk about what your brain actually does when it wants something. In 1998, neuroscientist Panksepp, who had been studying the seeking system since the 1980s, published Affective Neuroscience, formalizing a dopamine-driven network that makes you want to explore, search, and find. The seeking system doesn't care about happiness. It doesn't care about satisfaction. It cares about anticipation. It makes you want. That's its job. When your ancestors were hungry, the seeking system fired. It made them walk farther, dig deeper, climb higher. It made them notice the berry bush they'd walked past 100 times. It made them remember where the river bends, where the fish gather. The seeking system is the reason you exist. Every ancestor who listened to it survived. Every ancestor who ignored it didn't. And here's the part that matters. The seeking system runs on dopamine, not pleasure, anticipation. The moment before you get the thing is more powerful than the moment you get it. That's why you keep checking the fridge. That's why you keep scrolling the menu. That's why the craving doesn't go away when you eat. Because eating was never the point. The wanting was the point. But here's where it gets interesting. For 200,000 years, your ancestors ate what they could find. And what they could find was varied, unpredictable, and often scarce. Research on the Hadza people of Tanzania, one of the last true hunter-gatherer groups, suggests they eat approximately 100 grams of fiber per day. The average American eats 15. They consume nearly a third fewer calories per bite than people in industrialized societies. Their diet includes hundreds of different foods: berries, roots, honey, meat, seeds, leaves. No single food dominates. The variety is the point, because relying on one food source is a death sentence. Your brain evolved for this world, a world where sugar was rare, found in fruit, in honey, in the occasional ripe tuber. A world where fat was precious. The fat on an animal could mean survival through winter. A world where salt was scarce, found only near mineral deposits or the ocean. In that world, the seeking system was perfect. It made you chase the rare, the valuable, the life-saving. It made you crave exactly what you needed. And then, 10,000 years ago, everything changed. The Neolithic revolution, the invention of agriculture, was the biggest dietary shift in human history. And it happened fast. Suddenly, humans had access to concentrated carbohydrates: wheat, barley, rice, corn. Food became predictable. Scarce became abundant. The variety collapsed. Populations around the world began relying on one or two staple crops. Skeletal analysis of early farming communities tells the story. Compared to their hunter-gatherer predecessors, early farmers were shorter, had more dental cavities, showed signs of nutritional deficiencies, and suffered more infectious disease. A 2023 study in the Annual Review of Anthropology confirmed what decades of skeletal analysis had suggested. The transition to agriculture had an overall negative impact on human health. We traded nutrition for predictability. We traded variety for volume. But agriculture was just the beginning. In the last 70 years, something new happened. We didn't just concentrate carbohydrates. We combined them with fat and salt in ways that never occur in nature. A 2019 study in the journal Appetite analyzed 1,200 grocery store items and found that 69% met the criteria for ultra-processed. These aren't just refined foods. They're engineered combinations of sugar, fat, salt, and additives designed to hit multiple reward systems simultaneously. Here's why that matters. Your brain has separate pathways for sugar and fat. When you eat something sweet, one pathway lights up. When you eat something fatty, another lights up. But when you eat something that combines both, a cookie, a chip, a candy bar, both pathways fire at once. This combination is called hyper-palatable, and it almost never exists in nature. Fruit has sugar but no fat. Nuts have fat but no sugar. Your brain was never designed to process both at the same time. A 2023 study in Current Addiction Reports described a 5-stage model of food addiction. In the first stage, the reward system responds normally to hyperpalatable food. But with repeated exposure, dopamine receptors begin to downregulate. They become less sensitive. You need more food to feel the same pleasure. Cravings intensify. Control diminishes. Your seeking system is doing exactly what it was designed to do. It's chasing the most calorie-dense, most rewarding food it can find. The problem is that food scientists have spent billions of dollars making sure that food is always available, always affordable, and always engineered to keep you wanting more. And here is the part almost nobody quotes. Your brain's reward system hasn't changed in 2,000 years. The same seeking system that made your ancestors walk 15 miles for a handful of berries is now standing in your kitchen at midnight, searching for something, anything, that will satisfy a craving that was never meant to be satisfied by food. Because the seeking system doesn't run on food. It runs on dopamine. And dopamine doesn't care about fullness. It cares about novelty. It cares about anticipation. It cares about the next thing. That's why you can eat an entire bag of chips and still want more. That's why the last bite never tastes as good as the first. That's why you keep reaching for the phone, the remote, the next snack. The seeking system doesn't have an off switch. It was never supposed to. And here's the part that matters. You live in the most food-abundant period in human history. You can open your phone and have any food delivered to your door in 30 minutes. You can walk into a store and choose from 40,000 products. You never have to forage, hunt, or wonder where your next meal is coming from. And yet, you think about food more than your ancestors ever did. You plan meals, count calories, restrict foods, feel guilty about eating. You treat food as a moral issue. Good foods, bad foods, cheat meals, clean eating. Your ancestors likely didn't have food anxiety in the way we do. They faced scarcity, not abundance anxiety. And scarcity is a problem your brain knows how to solve. It makes you seek, it makes you find, it makes you eat. Abundance is a problem your brain has never faced, and it has no solution for it. Research suggests the average American adult makes approximately 200 food-related decisions per day, most of them unconscious. Your ancestors made maybe a dozen. The sheer volume of choice is overwhelming a system designed for scarcity. You're not failing at dieting. You're succeeding at being human. The system is working exactly as designed, in a world it was never designed for. So the next time you reach for the thing you said you wouldn't eat, don't call yourself weak. Don't start the diet on Monday. Don't delete the delivery app. Just notice what's happening. Your seeking system is doing its job. It's chasing the rare, the valuable, the life-saving. It doesn't know that the berry bush is now a grocery store. It doesn't know that the famine never came. It doesn't know that the food is always there. The craving isn't a failure. It's a feature, built for a world that disappeared 10,000 years ago. And now that you know that, you can stop fighting yourself and start working with the system you actually have.